Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. Welcome to a Conan Exiles mini access show. Today I'm going to be giving you the information you need to know about Conan Exiles. What's happening with the pet update, taming, interview with the developer courtesy of Firespark. He has had a great job and he managed to get Joel Bylos, the creative director, the guy that basically created Conan Exiles, in a good massive interview. I'm going to leave the link in the description down below so you go check that out. Great interview by Firespark. Really grilled Joel, really give him some tough questions. So if you're a big fan of Conan Exiles but you've been wanting to know some crucial answers about the pet system, about why they've implemented it, other features, other stuff, it's all going on. Also breaking literally only 20 minutes ago, there's a brand new boost, I guess, to official servers. Now, it's not the first time a game's done this. Ark frequently do this at the weekends. They give double XP or harvesting, stuff like that. But it looks like Conan Exiles is going down that route. Will it rescue the numbers? Numbers on official servers have been dwindling for a while, which is not unusual, but they have dropped considerably from launch. So, is this going to be enough? Let's go. It's the Access Show. So let's get this one right out of the way. For the whole month, for the next month, players on official PvP servers will gain 4 times the experience points when harvesting, crafting and slaying. Get out there, Exiles, burn with life and slay and be content. This could bring back a lot of people, particularly if they're not happy with the grind on the official servers. Now, of course, it's only for PvP, which I find a bit odd. I don't understand why they haven't just rolled it out across PvE as well. Of course, Conan Exiles, it really is, for me, a PvP game. It's where it's best, you know. They didn't invent all these combats, these weapons, these strategies, just to take some buggy, really crap thrall systems, or some of the enemies in the game that are just a bit shit. I'm being super critical there, but the mobs in Conan Exiles aren't the best. They don't move the best. They don't necessarily attack you with much intelligence. So the idea that it's a real PvP game is fantastic, because that's what I really wanted Conan to be. It's what I've always wanted to play it as. I did spend some time on official servers when it first launched. I've done a little let's play, go check that out as well. But yeah, 4 times the experience points, harvesting, crafting, slaying. Let me know if that's going to bring you back to Conan Exiles official servers. Of course, one drawback to that is the fact that the player cap is still 40 players. Now, during early access period, they had it up to 60, and at one point they said they may even have it up to 70 or possibly even 100, but they ended up reducing it down to 40, and for me that's been a negative about the servers, only having 40 players. The map isn't that large really when you boil it down to things, and 40 players you can get some real tussles. I know from my guys in Discord, loads of stories about PvP and battles and stuff going on, but it really could probably do with an increase, even a slight one. Maybe 50 players would do a lot to get more players involved, I think. Particularly when you fill up a tribe, obviously you can only have 10 players in a tribe or clan, and so obviously if you had more players you might be able to increase that or keep it as it is, but it'd just be good to have more people on a map. Okay, we're going to take a quick look at the community newsletter. This is a couple of days ago, of course. Now, a good sign that they are looking at winding things up on Conan is the fact that they won't necessarily be patching stuff all the time. Particularly after launch, there was lots of problems and issues still, and that took a good few weeks. And it's the same with most games nowadays, unfortunately. They need hotfixes immediately, and that persists for a couple of weeks. Then after that, they can think about quality of life improvements. Well, in this update status on the community letter, they're saying they're going to start doing it every 4 to 6 weeks now. So they'll have a hot fix, but they're going to be saving these quality life improvements, bug fixes as well though, and problems and issues only every 4 to 6 weeks. Now, some people might see this as a negative. It could be seen as a positive. Often when they patch stuff, particularly on PC to test live servers, they quickly rush it out across the board, and that has created a bunch of problems. So by doing this, it maybe gives them a little bit more time to work on stuff correctly so that we don't get broken updates or bug problems. They've also said they're hoping to get the updates on platforms as close as possible, so no more waiting for Xbox or PS4 to get their update weeks afterwards. This has been a massive problem for them. The biggest example was when they all had to go on holiday. They pushed an update for PC and it ended up being nearly 4 weeks, nearly 5 weeks before Xbox One and the PS4 got the same update. In fact, PS4 had to wait a couple even more weeks after that because there was a problem when it got down to loading the update. So this is, in my eyes, a good solution. Not rushing stuff out, testing things more thoroughly. Of course, it's got to work though. If we start seeing these updates come out after 6 weeks and they're still making the game worse, or not fixing what they're meant to, or they're breaking other stuff, then of course it's not working. So hopefully, we're going to give them a due. Let's see if this pans out, and if it does mean that all platforms get the same updates, that's great stuff. They've also got some stuff about Test Live and rewards. If you are a PC player, if you join the Test Lives when they ask you to, you've got a chance to win a DLC key and stuff like that. They also did explain why they don't have tests live on console. Now, other companies do. You've got PUBG with their test live servers, and more are starting to look at it on console. But they just explain it would be too much work, and it just maybe wouldn't be so worth it because it has to go certification every single time. They also say that they would have to download a brand new version of the game, which would be the full game for every test event that would happen. So, carry on PC Master Race being the beta testers. If you don't know, the map is getting some coordinates. They announced this last week. They're finally going to get it, so it's going to be much easier to stress where you are. It's a long needed thing. I don't understand why they didn't ever have it. Maybe it seemed too modern age. I'm not too sure. But now, no longer shouting, I'm near that big mountain. You'll be able to say, I am at 7A, 7J, 7H, whatever it is. It's on the Test Live update, and it will be coming with the pet update when it hits everyone. Now, they've been working on new combat animations, and I do believe Firespark asked a good few questions about this and other features with combat to Joel Bylos, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. They have been showing a bunch of numerous GIFs, offhand weapons. You're now going to be able to use shields as a weapon as well, and they're just showing off combat techniques with a heavy shield and heavy sword. But this is how it looks when after they've had the animations, so you can see you're really utilising the shield more. It's not just something that just sits on your arm. You're attacking players with it and you're finishing them off. Got a brand new one for the double axe spin, which looks pretty cool. And adding even more animations with the shield to literally take some player's head off. So that 4x4 XP event is live right now. And as you can see here, it's definitely not for PvE or PvE conflict, only pure PvP servers. And long-awaited camels are coming. I know you guys have been saying camels are in the game, but they're not. You can spawn them in, but they're not actually there properly. Well, they will now be tested properly in the game, or supposedly they're rare. I'm not too sure, but they're going to be pack animals. Remember, you won't be able to ride any of these creatures. It's all going to be about just pack animal stuff. Now, when it comes to when the pet update's going to hit, don't expect it until at some point towards the end of September. In this tweet alone, they say it's going to take a few weeks. They're still tweaking stuff, and the recent interview with Firespark that Joel gave really indicated that it's a work in progress still, and that was always the plan. It wasn't ever going to come out in a very few weeks. They really want to make sure this is right, hence why it's on the Test Live server. Now, I've been showing Firespark on my recommended channel for a while now because I do reckon he makes pretty good Conan Exiles content alongside Just Horse. So let's go and check out his interview if you want more answers, just to show you guys exactly where it is. The link will be down in the description down below. If you don't know who Firespark is, he's been doing nothing but pretty much Conan content since it launched on Xbox One and PS4 and PC. He is a PC player and he has started doing a lot more content, but that is the main stuff he's kind of known for, which made his channel grow quite a bit in the last few months. Now, this interview with Joel Bylos was a good few weeks ago, but I think it's kind of gone under the radar for some players, although it's got quite a lot of few thousand views. So absolutely go check it out. It really does give a more insight into what's going on in the minds of the creator of Conan Exiles, seeing what they plan for the future. And obviously we're starting to see a lot of them changes come into effect, mostly because it irked a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys that tried the Test Live update were saying that lots of things were broken. There were issues to do with honey, there was issues to do with OP creatures, there was issues to do with armor and DLC sets being actually paid to win because they were pretty much the best armor set you could get now, even though it weren't meant to give any type of actual advantage. And I've watched one part, and I've just, as you can see, about to finish off watching the second part of these interviews, and it just really gives a good, talk about Conan Exiles. So absolutely go and check it out if you're really interested in it and see what the man himself has to say. A few things to note about the pet system, and I've done quite a few videos talking about the pets, how it's going to work. I've even showed you the brand new Avatar's homeland, or the dungeon that you're going to be exploring quite a lot of. But I do want to show you another little post really talking about quality of life improvements as well, and some of the changes they've already got coming in. There's going to be a special animation for your pets, so you'll know when they're hungry because they'll do this. They have updated the Jabal Sag religion and Midnight Grove, so lots of bugs and problems in terms of some of the creatures not spawning correctly will be there now. If you've seen my video on it, I did only show a little caution of it because some of it was just too broke, but I will definitely revisit it to give you a heads up when it's coming to console. But if you've not seen the Midnight Grove, it is the new dungeon, and it's where you're going to be facing off against mini bosses to get access to the brand new avatar and the brand new religion. Now, a lot of you guys were also upset about the fact that thralls are going to need food and they're going to need specific foods. Well, in the future, they're going to also get buffs. So your thralls will have a buff, or I do believe your pets will definitely have a buff if you feed them specific food. Now, a lot of this has been delved from going through the forums and taking a look at what the actual devs have been talking about. I'm going to do more comprehensive overview again when it's ready to launch officially for Xbox One and the PS4. I do think they're probably going to launch it on all three systems. I really think the announcement that they're doing the update every 4 to 6 weeks and trying to get it on all platforms, I think it makes a good PR move that if the update comes for everyone at the same time, that's a good move. But realistically, you're not going to see the pet system update until at least the end of September, beginning of October. Now, to address what I said at the beginning as well, taking a look at Conan Exiles numbers. Now, Steam isn't always the best way to gauge this because Steam has much more choice. There's always going to be less players playing the same game unless they're really big hitters like Ark or like Rust. And Conan isn't as big as them games. It never has been and it's never going to be. It did have a fantastic week when it launched, 49,000 players. And as you can see, it's dwindled quite a lot. And over the weeks, you can see it's gone down considerably until we're at the point where it's under 10,000 and approaching under 7. Now, I'm not ragging on it. That happens a lot to lots of games. Should it happen to a game that's only just come out, what, 6 months ago? Barely that, 5 months ago? Probably, I'd say yes, on Steam it does, because that's the way it works. And like I said, unless you're a superstar game like Ark that has managed to keep its player base for such a long time, you'll notice that even Ark is having problems in the last year. It has gone down considerably and one of its lowest points at the moment with only 34,000 players. What's always been interesting, of course, is that when Conan was at its height, Ark took a massive dive. So lots of Ark players jumped over to Conan to give it a try and see how it would. Of course, that didn't last too long though, unfortunately. Conan and Ark are quite similar fan bases. Absolutely, you guys love it, and that's I think why some of my content on Conan took off, because you guys had followed me from my Ark stuff. But as Ark made a recovery, Conan dipped, and Conan just doesn't seem capable of making a recovery. You can see Ark has many times gone down and then back up, depending on updates and how much they've released for DLC. But Conan just doesn't seem to have that capacity. So maybe launching the pet update all in one go, having brand new features, adding stuff like the map, more quality of life improvements, really will give it a boost in the arm that it needs. Now on Xbox and PS4 this is a bit more different. I honestly can't give you proper actual, statistics, but only going by my friends that are playing. I've got over 1,000 players on both systems. From what they're playing, there's not a lot of people playing Conan Exiles at the moment. Particularly on Xbox, it's been dead. It never really recovered as much because it's been out in early access for quite a while. PS4, it was massively hyped, loads of people jumped on it, but it did seem to take a massive nosedive. So, will the pet update fix Conan? Probably not. Is it meant to? No. It's coming towards the end of Conan's life. You're not going to see much more content. They're announcing one more DLC pack. I imagine they're going to launch that with the new update as well. And that's going to be, I do believe, the last DLC pack in terms of cosmetic items they're going to be launching with. There's talk about sorcery and all sorts coming to the game, but as you can see from the interviews with Firespark, that's probably best answered by watching that. But some of them features have kind of just been hyperboled over the years. I've made many critical videos of Funcom talking about the fact that they really have not put enough content into the game, particularly stuff that they kept mentioning during early access. And it really does feel like they've probably got to maybe as far as they can with Conan Exiles. I really just can't see them pushing it higher. But you guys let me know, how much are you enjoying Conan Exiles still? So there you go, a mini access show done and dusted. If you want to catch up on everything to do with early access games, if you want to see important information about games I'm covering, or the ones that you guys are enjoying the most, as well as brand new games coming out in development and indie games, make sure you've got the bell ticked up here, people. Come and get your notifications on. Also come and join my Discord. We talk about all sorts of stuff. We've still got Conan servers running. I'm running a Conan Exiles PvP PS4 server, so if you want to come join that, you're more than welcome to. And we have just got loads of channels to talk about all sorts of games, not just Conan Exiles. So until the next big Conan Exiles update comes, I will be the first person to let you know when that pet system update drops and any more substantial news. Until then, ratbags, I will see you later.